This Formica fusca queen has set up home beneath a rotting log. She is fat and vulnerable. Her first brood will need to move quickly if the colony is to survive. Their priority now is to find food, and there is plenty around. But there are other hungry creatures down here. The workers will need to be vigilant. The ants have encountered a pocket of woodworm. These defenseless weevil larvae will make an excellent meal for the colony. They will be butchered and carried off for processing. The workers have uncovered carnivorous larvae of Ocypus olens, the devil's coach horse. They are born ready for combat, with powerful slicing mandibles for chopping up their prey. They are still small, however, and must undergo a final pupation before their armor is fully developed. If the ants are fast, they should be able to overwhelm these critters. If the ants had disturbed the adult of these larvae, the outcome for the colony may not have been so fortunate. They must expand with caution. These wood lice will make a significant addition to the colony's larders, but they are clinging tightly to the ground. It's going to take some effort to dislodge them. There are intruders in the nest. There are intruders in the nest. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. There are intruders in the nest. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. There are intruders in the nest. The The ants have stumbled into the path of a fully developed devil's coach horse beetle, and it's hungry for breakfast. The beetle is almost 4 times the size of a black ant, and protected by thick plates of external armor. Whilst it bites at the tiny defenders, it sprays foul-smelling secretions from the end of its raised abdomen, disorientating the ants. The devil's coach horse is dead. Its corpse will provide food to support dozens of new brood. This Formica fusca colony.
Is it feeding time?
This Formica fusca queen has set up home beneath a rotting log. She is fat and vulnerable. Her first brood will need to move quickly if the colony is to survive. Their priority now is to find food, and there is plenty around. But there are other hungry creatures down here. The workers will need to be vigilant. The ants have encountered a pocket of woodworm. These defenseless weevil larvae will make an excellent meal for the colony. They will be butchered and carried off for processing. Unfortunately, the queen chose her colony's home poorly. This earth is infested with Grillotalpa grillotalpa, the European mole cricket. Growing up to 45 millimeters in length and with powerful forelegs, these beasts are masters of tunneling. The crickets have had their fill of roots for the day, and are now on the hunt for protein-rich invertebrates. This queen and her brood are in imminent danger of being devoured. The workers have uncovered carnivorous larvae of Sub-1hr, the devil's coach horse. They are born ready for combat, with powerful slicing mandibles for chopping up their prey. They are still small, however, and must undergo a final pupation before their armor is fully developed. If the ants are fast, they should be able to overwhelm these critters. If the ants had disturbed the adult of these larvae, the outcome for the colony may not have been so fortunate. They must expand with caution. These wood lice will make a significant addition to the colony's larders, but they are clinging tightly to the ground. It's going to take some effort to dislodge them. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. There are intruders in the nest. There are intruders in the nest. There are intruders in the nest. A mole cricket is burrowing into the nest. The ants must mount a defense quickly, or their brood will be forfeit. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. There are intruders in the nest. The ants have stumbled into the path of a fully developed devil's coach horse beetle, and it's hungry for breakfast. The beetle is almost 4 times the size of a black ant, and protected by thick plates of external armor. Whilst it bites at the tiny defenders, it sprays foul-smelling secretions from the end of its raised abdomen, disorientating the ants. The devil's coach horse is dead. Its corpse will provide food to support dozens of new brood.
How is the colony progressing?
The Queen is exhibiting interesting new behaviors. I believe the colony is beginning to adapt. The Queen has begun to lay new eggs.
Perfect. We will soon have a thriving colony.
Raptor workers have raised their first Formica ant.
Finally, we have the opportunity to observe multiple species within the same colony. It is time we connected the outworld to the feeder colonies. I want to see how these Ereptors respond under pressure.
I will prepare the experiment.
Let's begin with a small threat.
Connecting the Fusca colony now. I will let 10 through to start with. The Ereptors identified the threat and responded very quickly.
Excellent. Let's see how they handle a few more, shall we?
Introducing 20 Formica Fusca ants. Our Ereptors have neutralized the threat to their queen.
Good. Continue the experiment and let me know the results. Don't add more than 30 ants at once, though. We don't want to harm the queen.
Understood. I wonder how they will react to a rival Ereptor colony. Introducing 40 rival Ereptor ants. Excellent! Introducing a further 50 rival Ereptor ants. Fascinating. Now let's try 60 Ereptor ants. A superb response! You're doing admirably, my Ereptors. Perhaps a small reward. Look to the surface! What about a combination of Ereptor and Fusca? Let's start with 20 of each. An unconventional defense, yet highly effective. It's interesting to see the colony fight on two fronts. Perhaps we should try 30 of each. Magnificent! Once again, our Ereptors triumph. Some seeds on the surface for my succeeding Ereptors. Gather them quickly. colony's ability to withstand such overwhelming assaults is incredible. I wonder, how will they handle a sustained flow of aggressors? Let's make things a little more interesting, shall we? Enter the Devil's Coach Horse. Whoops! I seem to have dropped my beetles. I hope they don't harm the little ants. Perhaps that's enough for now.
How has the colony been responding?
They mounted an excellent defense against 20, 25, and even 30 Fuska ants, as you suggested.
Perfect. Perhaps we can provide more of a challenge for them next time.
What a
The
fantastic
colony seems to have made
suggestion.
significant progress. Perhaps it is time we began phase 2 of the trial.
Agreed. I will prepare the feeder colonies.
Let's ease them in with a familiar disturbance. Introduce 20 Formica Fusca ants.
The Fuska colony is attached, and the ants are on their way.
I see they haven't lost their potency. Now let's try the Formica rufa ants.
The Rufa will be more aggressive. Our Ereptors will need to put up a strong defense. Adding 20 Rufa ants. Once again, our Ereptors have neutralized the threat to their queen.
Good. Continue the experiment as before, but don't push the colony too hard.
Of course not. That would be irresponsible. Introducing 40 Rufa ants. Excellent defense. Increasing to 50 Rufa ants.
be unfair to help the colony out. Perhaps. But I'm feeling generous. Collect your seeds swiftly, my little ants.
Now, let's see how they handle the Rufa and the Fuska invaders. We will start with 30 of each. A wonderful victory on two fronts. Perhaps we should try 3 colonies this time. Introducing 30 of each, Rufa, Fuska, and Raptor ants.
Good, good. A little helping hand for what comes next. Collect it quickly. Faster, faster.
I wonder how long they will survive against a sustained flow from all 3 colonies. Let's see. You are doing well, my intrepid raptors, but what's this? A giant tiger beetle has joined the fray. And another, and another. Oh no, 3 tiger beetles. Work, my little ants. But what's this? 1, 2, 3, 9, 10 wolf spiders. It hardly seems fair. Yes, yes! Victory to the Raptor!
What's going on here?
Yes, the ants performed excellently.
The
against
counterpart
Rufa.
colony has
They
been
just staved
delivered.
off an attack
We
from
need to commence
40
preparation
Rufas.
for the final
40?
experiment. After that, we can enough for dispose of now. the specimens We don't and close want the to project. overstress them. You should begin
Agreed.
transplanting our Ereptors into the modular formicarium, and be careful with the queen.
Yes, yes, I know how to use a trowel.
Ugh.
Close the project. Bah! Did you hear that? Final experiment, my foot! I'm in charge of the colony, and I will decide when we've finished testing. There. All set in your new home. Grow quickly, my...
This small leafcutter colony has established a foothold in a clearing near the base of a tree. Their location provides prime access to lucrative harvesting grounds which have gone unchallenged for the past few weeks. However, unbeknownst to the ants, the peace is about to be broken. A scourge is drawing in. It will be here by morning. The battle has begun. The battle has begun. Several meters south of the nest, a legion of nomadic Essiton-Berkeley army ants are preparing to march. They set up camp late last night, and will now conduct daily swarming raids on the surrounding areas until they see fit to move on. This humble leafcutter stronghold will soon lie directly in their path. The army ants have arrived. They will sweep eastward, swarming everything they find. Larvae-filled ant colonies are particularly ripe for culling. Only a substantial defensive force with the right tools to repel the aggressors will be left alone. The leafcutters must prove to the invaders that they are more trouble than they are worth. If the army ants can be pushed back beyond leafcutter territory, they will likely give this area a wide berth until it's time for them to relocate their nest. Occasionally, scouts will head out from the swarm frontier in search of live prey for the horde. If they find anything of significance, they will call for reinforcements. A battalion of soldiers can respond in seconds. Against impossible odds, the soldiers of the Atta stronghold met the tyrannic...
Is it feeding time already?
Yes, our queen is insatiable.
I'm afraid we've ran out of time. It doesn't matter if the nest isn't perfect. Run the experiment, then clear out the specimens and bleach the equipment.
Yes, I know. I'm doing it.
And when you are finished here, I think we should have a word about your conduct around the laboratory.
I think we should have a word about your conduct around the laboratory.
What was that?
Nothing. Starting the experiment.
Good. Let me know when you have a result.
Okay, my little ants. This is it. The winner will have the privilege of joining me for the ultimate test, the real final experiment. The loser will be relegated to the waste disposal. The four Machariums are connected. Let the war commence! I wonder which colony will strike first. The Raptors finally meet. Interesting combinations. I wonder which is more effective. Our Raptors are beating back their counterparts. Victory seems within their grasp. But what's this? Could it be the almighty hand of God? Most of our raptors are fighting very far from their nest. I wonder, what would happen if their queen was threatened? Yes, these mole crickets should reveal the relevant behaviors. Be careful, my queen. I'm not finished with you yet. Quickly, my little raptors. You wouldn't want to be caught by the finger of death. Ah. Excellent progress, my raptors. Strike at your nemesis. There can be only one. Yes, yes. Perfect! I knew my raptors would prevail. Now we can prepare for the real.
Have you finished yet?
Yes, our raptors have dominated the Sub-1hr.
Wonderful. I expect a full report by the end of the week. For now, you can start by clearing away. Make sure anything contaminated with that jelly goes straight to the incinerator.
Yes, yes, very good. Short-sighted, simple, churlish fools. They don't understand. None of them understand. The experiment must proceed. There isn't much time. Quickly, my raptors, into the terrarium. You'll be safe here.
Is it done?
Yes, yes. Look. Gone.
I see.
This fire ant queen has traveled for miles on her nuptial flight, finally landing atop a sandy mound deep in the swamp. The vantage point might seem like an ideal home, but it may be short-lived. This whole area is liable to flooding, and nearby rainfall is already causing the groundwater to rise. Exhausted and without her wings, the queen is unable to move on alone. But if she can amass enough daughters in time, the colony as a whole may stand a chance. There are intruders in the nest. There are intruders in the nest. Many nearby creatures have already been washed out of their homes by the rising water. A lucky few have been deposited on the shores east of the nest. As more arrive, tensions will rise. There isn't space here for everyone. This colony must remain small for now. Food is too scarce to support greater numbers. The ants must fight. False bombardier larvae are burrowing through the earth surrounding the nest. They are already large and will hold their ground against small groups of ants. The colony is starving. There is not enough food to feed the new brood. A great blue skimmer, Libellula vibrans, hunts overhead. This fantastic aerial predator shouldn't cause any trouble for the ants. That is, unless it decides to land in their way. Food is abundant, but as the floodwater begins to rise, the ants will quickly lose access to the lower lands. The boggy earth at the base of the mound is now saturated, and as night approaches, the water begins to creep closer. The new arrivals will rush to higher ground, heading straight for the nest. There is nowhere else to go. By joining their bodies together to form a giant raft, the fire...
Eat hearty, grow strong. The work will continue soon.
Hello?
Shh, shh.
Oh, it's you. Is something wrong?
No. Solenopsis invicta. Interesting presentation. Fully functional stinger, too. Marvelous.
What's marvelous?
Oh, my sandwich. Yes, it came with an unusually generous dab of fiery pepper sauce.
How many times have I told you? No food in the lab.
Yes, okay, fine, I'm going.
They're about to start the glade.
So, my enduring raptors, we've witnessed your proficiency for resisting natural predators, but what about the unnatural? After all, our work with the counterparts barely scratched the surface. Even on incompatible subjects, the effects of the jelly are remarkable. It may not look very pretty, nor indeed live longer than a day, but for our purposes, it's perfect. May I present to you my most armored hybrid, the Hermit Scorpion? Like water on rock, the Eruptors crash against the hybrid. How many will fall? Perhaps them all. Yes! The stinger opens and it's functional! Go, my furious hybrids! Spike the ants! Spike them! Hermit Scorpion. It sounded better in my head. No matter, every stimulation spurs the permutations. Perhaps a more elaborate test to follow. Something to provoke a creative response. Now, do we want raptorial forelegs or pedipalps? Forelegs or pedipalps? Ah, silly me. We want both, of course. No, don't do that. That's your sister. No, no, no. Right, we're keeping you two apart. Oh, what's the matter, my Eruptors? Is the whip mantis being nasty? Yes, clever little ants. Work smarter, not harder. Only one remains. Kill it. Wonderful! Both champions bested. The caustic scent of hemolymph filling the arena. Can you smell it?
What's going on in there?
Ah,
Open the door.
what's she doing back? We need more time. I'm sorry, there's been a containment contamination.
What are you talking about?
Said the spider to the fly. You're witty and you're wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings? How brilliant are your eyes?
Where's your hazmat suit? There's no contamination.
Yes,
Let me
yes,
in.
contamination, yes. And it lives. I have to say, I do my best work under pressure. In you go.
Open the door this instant, or I'll have you escorted from the building.
Open the door, no problem. I'm on my way.
Right? That's it. Could I have a security team on the 6th floor, please?
It's using its wings. Incredible. though it does seem a little slow to react. Perhaps we severed a few too many synapses. Have you noticed that, my raptors?
Here! I need this door opening and that man removed immediately.
Why must they constantly disrupt our work? You deal with the hybrids. I'll buy some more time. This should do it.
What was that?
Drugs will help lick, please. There's a situation developing here.
Hurry now, not much time. Yes! Defeated! Oh, if only we could finish now, but we must be patient. You'll have to stay in here for now where they won't find you. Don't give up.
Nothing untoward here. Why did he lock the door?
What is the meaning of this?
Get him out of here!
It's okay. I just need to
I
escort you
haven't put in
offsite.
any requests.
Absolutely unacceptable.
Looks like
You'll be hearing from my union
supercapacitor.
Okay.
You're probably after microelectronics. Next floor up.
Oh, I hope those cameras are...
Aha! I told you I'd be back. My poor ants! What has happened to you?
This fire ant queen has traveled for miles on her nuptial flight, finally landing atop a sandy mound deep in the swamp. The vantage point might seem like an ideal home, but it may be short-lived. This whole area is liable to flooding, and nearby rainfall is already causing the groundwater to rise. Exhausted and without her wings, the queen is unable to move on alone. But if she can amass enough daughters in time, the colony as a whole may stand a chance. There are intruders in the nest. Many nearby creatures have already been washed out of their homes by the rising water. A lucky few have been deposited on the shores east of the nest. As more arrive, tensions will rise. There isn't space here for everyone.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. This colony must remain small for now. Food is too scarce to support greater numbers.
False bombardier larvae are burrowing through the earth surrounding the nest. They are already large and will hold their ground against small groups of ants.
The colony is starving. There is not enough food to feed the new brood. A great blue skimmer, Libellula vibrans, hunts overhead. This fantastic aerial predator shouldn't cause any trouble for the ants. That is, unless it decides to land in their way. Food is abundant, but as the floodwater begins to rise, the ants will quickly lose access to the lower lands. The waters surrounding the nest are perfect hunting grounds for fishing spiders. They have keen eyesight and can skip across the water to quickly chase down unsuspecting prey wandering too close to the edge.
The battle has begun.
By joining their bodies together to form a giant raft, the fire ants
Ugh, crumbs everywhere. Who's been bringing food into the lab?
Guess what I've got? It's been a long road, hasn't it, my Reptus? You've done so well. Everyone doubted your potential for selective assimilation. Everyone except for me, of course. We need only arouse the remaining mutation vectors and it will be complete. Imagine it. No host rejection, no secondary augmentations. Tonight, we finish it. Tonight, we conduct the final experiment. Everything is arranged. Perhaps not as clinical as certified company equipment, but we make do. Our fates are intertwined now, my little ants. Do not fail me. We'll program a simple linear sequence to begin with. Acid, laser, electrode, then fire. Don't be shy. You want the jelly, don't you? Look, a nice big blob on the surface. Come and get it. The acid is pressurized, the nozzle takes aim, the danger is clear, but the jelly's right here. Your move.
What's this? Notes on continued experiments. Solenopsis invicta, Megaponera analis. He wanted to integrate Matabele DNA into one of the erector colonies. Completely reckless.
laser is charged to 20 watts. Don't look into the beam. All this noisy equipment must be quite intimidating. How about a familiar distraction? A handful of tiger beetles will do nicely. Charging the capacitors. Now don't be startled if you hear a slight pop. Imagine while all this is going on if you had to share your terrarium with a collection of highly agitated spiders. Why, it would be absolute pandemonium. Whoops! You haven't tasted this before, have you, my reptiles? Pure concentrated jelly. None of the other specimens survived exposure, so you'll be the first. Unless my hypothesis is wrong, in which case your lethal neoplasms will spread through the colony. No one wants to see that. Fire extinguisher on standby for this one. Safety first. Fire! And that concludes the warm-up test. How was that? Feeling limber? Stretched? Hungry for more? Good. Next, we'll observe the effects of simultaneous exposure to multiple stimulants, programming in a distributed sequence. There. Good luck. Let's make the arena more interesting, shall we? What about a selection of angry mantises? That's interesting, isn't it? Perhaps the stimulation intensity should be increased. After all, our brave Ereptors have not gone this far to be coddled. They expect stringent test conditions. We'll start by increasing the electrode discharge capacity. Yes! It's working. The rate of adaptation has accelerated tenfold. Let's expand the acid discharge stream next. Oh, and it looks like you're running out of mantises. Let me help you with that. Exposure to 3 cycles of each stimulant complete. It would seem that full spectrum immunity has yet to develop. Do you know what that means, my little Ereptors? That's right, you're so clever. Inserting triplet stimulant combinations into the sequence. We just need to increase the power draw. No! Useless! Isolated! Go! Go! Where is it? Aha! I just need to prise it open. Let there be light. And then there was... this could complicate matters. 1, 3, 6, 2... Well, that's rude, isn't it? 1, 3, 6, 2... Change the alarm codes, have we? Well, how about these alarm codes? Wonderful! Perfect! Now, back to the matter at hand. I think it's about time we increased the laser power. Don't you? After all, that little fiasco won't have gone unnoticed. Oh, and I almost forgot to connect the feeder colonies. You remember those, don't you, my little raptor? What's left? Increasing the burner oxygen flow. Quickly now. We don't have much time. Perhaps more hens will help to heighten the urgency. Already? Can you not give me a moment's peace? Well, there's no going back now. Programming in the final sequence. Oh, it comes with scorpions. I'd love to stay and observe, but I need to go and buy us a little more time. Good thing I brought my dynamite. I'll put a little bit here, a little bit there, here, there, spread it all about. The door frame connected to the fuse bit, the fuse bit connected to the wire bit, yes, the wire bit connected to my foot bone. Oh, that can't be right.
He's here! I knew it!
There's no way out. Put your hands up and step out into the corridor.
Oh, just in time.
I want him arrested now!
I think we should get back.
Fire in the hole.
Get back!
My little ants, look at you. Perfected. Oh, this is the end, I'm afraid. After all, we can't have those brainless parasites unraveling all of your secrets, can we? So, I hope you understand. It's not personal. There's just one final step. A once lethal catalyst for unbounded mutation, now tamed and molded through you, my Raptor host, and finally rectified for human consumption. Tonight, I imbibe the power of the colony. Ah, yes, I can feel it. It's working. We are the ultimate state of life. We? What did I say? Oh, this shouldn't be happening.
The power of the colony. The bonds of the colony.
No!
Yes. My queen. My queen must not be harmed. It is done. At the behest of the colony. My queen must not be harmed. It is done. It is done. At the behest of the colony. It is done. At the behest of the colony. My queen must not be harmed. I serve the will of the colony. My queen must not be harmed. My queen must not be harmed.
Okay, brace there. Fires are out. We're making our way through to the lab now.
We must leave now, my queen. It is not safe here. We will go into the wild and feed so that you may birth the first elates. Securing the line of the Ereptor will need much sustenance.
Dear Lord, what is that?
No! What has he done?